In a world where royalty often feels distant and ceremonial, Bhutan's Queen Jetsun Pema stands apart as a symbol of grace, compassion, and modern leadership. From her unexpected rise to the throne to her unwavering commitment to her people, Queen Jetsun's story feels like a real-life fairy tale, only better. She blends tradition with a fresh perspective, and her humble yet powerful presence has inspired people across the globe. In this video, we explore the life and legacy of the Dragon Queen of Bhutan. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible royal stories from around the world. Jetsun Pema was born on June 4, 1990, in Thimphu, the capital of Bhutan. Although she wasn't born into royalty, her upbringing was far from ordinary. Her father, Dundup Gyaltsen, worked as a commercial pilot, and her mother, Sonam Choki, came from a noble family with strong ties to Bhutan's royal lineage. Her maternal grandfather was closely related to two former queens, and her older sister eventually married one of the king's brothers. So while Jetsun was considered a commoner by royal standards, she was no stranger to the world of kings and queens. Growing up, Jetsun was part of a loving household with 4 siblings. Her early years were filled with warmth, strong family values, and a deep connection to Bhutanese culture. She carried herself with quiet confidence even as a child, and those around her quickly recognized her intelligence and natural charm. Education played an important role in her life from the very beginning. She first studied in Bhutan before continuing her education in India. She attended St. Joseph's Convent in Kalimpong and later the Lawrence School in Himachal Pradesh, both well known for their academic standards. But Jetsun wasn't just a book-smart student. She was also active in sports and even captained her school's basketball team. She loved the game and continued to play whenever she had the chance, a hobby she has kept even as queen. In 2008, after finishing high school, she moved to the United Kingdom to attend Regent's University in London. There, she studied international relations with minors in psychology and art history. Her time in the UK gave her a global perspective, and she became fluent in English and Hindi, in addition to her native language, Dzongkha. This would later help her connect with people far beyond Bhutan's borders. But the most extraordinary part of her story began when she was just 7 years old. At a family picnic in 1997, she met Crown Prince Jigme Kesar Namgyal Wangchuk, who was 10 years older than her. The young prince was taken by her playful nature and confident spirit. At the time, it was just a sweet, fleeting moment between a young girl and a teenage royal. No one could have predicted what the future held. 14 years later, that little girl had grown into a graceful and well-educated young woman. The crown prince had become king, taking the throne in 2006. In 2011, during a session of Bhutan's parliament, King Jigme Kesar made a surprise announcement. He was engaged to Jetsun Pema. She was 21 years old. The news thrilled the nation. Although she wasn't born a princess, people quickly fell in love with her warmth, intelligence, and humility. The king spoke of her with deep affection, describing her as kind-hearted and wise beyond her years. Their wedding that October was one of the most beautiful events Bhutan had ever seen. It took place at the Punakha Dzong, a breathtaking 17th century Buddhist monastery known as the Palace of Great Happiness. The entire country watched as the young queen walked across a wooden bridge to meet the king. Dressed in a richly embroidered kira, Bhutan's national dress for women, she looked radiant. Monks chanted prayers and played traditional drums as the couple exchanged vows under the gaze of a massive tapestry of Bhutan's founder. The ceremony was broadcast live, becoming the country's biggest media event at the time. But the most remarkable part of the royal wedding wasn't its beauty or tradition. It was the promise the king made that day. In a country where kings had once practiced polygamy, he declared that Jetsun would be his one and only queen. It was a powerful gesture of love and change. At just 21 years old, Jetsun Pema had become the youngest queen consort in the world, and the heart of a modern fairy tale that was only just beginning. From the moment she became queen, Jetsun Pema showed that she was not content with simply attending royal ceremonies or posing for the cameras. She stepped into her role with a sense of purpose, determined to use her position to make a real difference in the lives of her people. While her royal title gave her influence, it was her actions and compassion that earned her respect. One of the first ways Queen Jetsun stood out was through her leadership in humanitarian efforts. She became president of the Bhutan Red Cross Society, an organization that helps communities prepare for and recover from natural disasters, improves public health, and supports the most vulnerable. Her calm presence and genuine care made her a comforting figure during times of crisis. People saw in her not just a queen, but a protector, someone who would stand with them during their hardest moments. Her commitment to the environment quickly became one of the defining aspects of her reign. Bhutan is known for its pristine landscapes, clean air, and deep respect for nature. But preserving that beauty takes hard work and constant care. Queen Jetsun took on the role of patron of the Royal Society for the protection of nature, lending her voice and influence to efforts that keep the country's forests and wildlife safe. She became a strong supporter of Bhutan's Clean Bhutan campaign, which encourages people to reduce waste and live in more eco-friendly ways. She didn't just talk about going green. She actively promoted change, working with schools, local leaders, and everyday citizens to spread awareness. Healthcare is another area close to her heart. In 2015, the country built the Queen Jetsun Pema Mother and Child Hospital, dedicated to improving care for women and newborns. It wasn't just a symbolic gesture. The hospital introduced real changes, including access to Bhutan's first epidural service, giving women more options and comfort during childbirth. Her efforts helped modernize healthcare in ways that respected tradition, but also brought new levels of support and dignity to mothers across the country. Queen Jetsun's work doesn't stop at hospitals and environmental programs. She has also become a strong advocate for children and people with disabilities. Through her patronage of the Ability Bhutan Society, she has helped ensure that children with special needs have access to education, therapy, and community support. These are kids who might otherwise be left behind, but thanks to her attention and care, many now have a chance to learn, grow, and thrive. She visits schools and centers often, taking the time to talk with families and hear their stories. Her presence brings hope, and her genuine kindness reminds people that they matter. She has also taken an interest in Bhutan's rural communities, where many families rely on small farms and local crafts to make a living. Through the One Gubwag, One Product initiative, she supports efforts to help villages develop and market their own unique goods. This program helps connect rural producers with bigger markets, giving small communities the chance to grow their incomes while holding on to their cultural identity. Her support has helped empower women and young people in particular, giving them opportunities to build a better future close to home. What makes Queen Jetsun's leadership so special is that it never feels distant. She's not just overseeing programs from behind palace walls. She's out in the field, meeting people face to face, listening to their problems, and helping find solutions. Her role goes far beyond ceremony. She's hands-on, deeply involved, and genuinely invested in making Bhutan a healthier, more hopeful place. In a world where many royals are content to wave from balconies, she's quietly rewriting what it means to lead with heart. Queen Jetsun Pema may hold one of the highest titles in the country, but her life is far from the glamorous, distant image many might expect from royalty. From the beginning of her time as queen, she has stood out not just for her beauty and elegance, but for her simple lifestyle and natural charm. Even though she represents the face of a centuries-old monarchy, she lives with her family in a modest cottage instead of a grand palace. She often invites everyday people into her home for tea and conversation, creating a sense of closeness between the royal family and the people they serve. Her warmth makes her feel approachable, not just admired. Fashion has become one of the many ways Queen Jetsun expresses her identity. Whether attending official ceremonies or visiting rural communities, she is always dressed in a way that honors her culture. Her traditional Bhutanese kira outfits are vibrant and detailed, made of rich silk and beautifully embroidered fabrics. People across the country and even abroad take notice of her graceful style, which often draws comparisons to iconic figures like Princess Diana and Jackie Kennedy. While some see her as the Kate Middleton of the Himalayas, Jetson has created a look and presence that is entirely her own. Even when she wears modern Western styles, her elegance feels effortless, blending tradition with a contemporary touch that speaks to younger generations. Despite her status, Queen Jetson is known for being deeply down-to-earth. She is often seen smiling and speaking with people during public events, not from behind velvet ropes, but face-to-face. Her interactions never seem rehearsed or stiff. She listens closely, makes eye contact, and treats everyone with the same kindness, whether they are government officials or farmers in remote mountain villages. She brings a personal connection to her public role, showing that a queen can be powerful without being distant. Her relatability has become one of her strongest qualities, especially among young people. Many Bhutanese women and girls look up to her, not just because she is queen, but because she represents the kind of leadership that is kind, intelligent, and true to one's values. She respects Bhutan's deep traditions, but is not afraid to move forward when it means making life better for the next generation. Her ability to balance heritage with progress gives the monarchy a fresh image, one that feels more in touch with modern hopes and challenges. Around the world, Queen Jetson has gained quiet but growing recognition. Her work in humanitarian causes and environmental protection, along with her dignified presence at international events, has helped raise awareness of Bhutan's culture and values. Though Bhutan is a small country, her influence has reached far beyond its borders. People are drawn not only to the beauty of the country, but to the woman who so gracefully represents it. She has been praised in international media and admired by other royals, yet she remains focused on her people first. At the heart of it all, Queen Jetson's biggest strength is her consistency. Whether she's comforting a mother at a hospital, encouraging a student in a village school, or standing beside the king at a formal ceremony, she carries herself with the same sense of purpose and care. She doesn't just speak about compassion and service, she lives it every day. Her role as queen is not defined by wealth or power, but by her quiet dedication to the people of Bhutan and the example she sets for others. Over time, her actions have built a legacy rooted in humility, love, and grace. She has shown that a modern queen can be both regal and real, both a symbol and a servant of her people. In doing so, Queen Jetson Pema has become more than a royal figure. She has become a lasting source of inspiration. Queen Jetson Pema has captured the hearts of her nation and the admiration of the world, not just with her elegance, but with her kindness, vision, and quiet strength. She's redefined what it means to be royal by choosing to serve, listen, and uplift her people. As Bhutan continues to grow and modernize, her influence will be felt for generations to come. Her story is proof that true power lies in compassion. If you were inspired by Bhutan's extraordinary queen, hit that like button and subscribe for more captivating royal stories you won't hear anywhere else.